Well, fresh legal trouble mounts over former U.S. President Donald Trump as a civil fraud trial against him and members of his family gets underway in New York. The case casts major aspersions of fraud on Trump's business empire, and this even as he campaigns to retake the White House with 4 criminal cases looming. Let's tell you more. Now, in the latest case, Donald Trump, who appeared in a New York City courtroom. Trump and his family businesses are facing the trial to determine how much they owe in penalties. That is, after Judge Arthur Engoron found that the former U.S. president's assets were inflated by billions of dollars in a bid to secure more favorable loan and insurance terms. Take a listen.
This is a continuation of the single greatest witch hunt of all time. We have a rogue judge who rules that properties are worth a tiny fraction of 1/100th, a tiny fraction of what they actually are. Just so you know, my financial statements are phenomenal. They are actually less in terms of the numbers used than the actual net worth. The actual net worth is substantially more. No bank was affected, no bank was hurt. They don't even know why they have to be involved.
Well, Trump, the frontrunner in the 2024 Republican presidential nomination, is accused by New York Attorney General Letitia James of inflating the value of his assets by billions of dollars to secure better loan and insurance rates.
Good morning, everyone. Donald Trump and the other defendants have committed persistent and repeated fraud. Last week, we proved that in our motion for summary judgment. Today, we will prove our other claims. My message is simple. No matter how powerful you are, no matter how much money you think you may have, no one is above the law. And it is my responsibility and my duty and my job to enforce it. The law is both powerful and fragile. And today in court, we will prove our case. I thank you all for being here. And again, justice will prevail. Thank you.
James is seeking at least $250 million in fines, a permanent ban against Trump and his sons, Donald Jr. and Eric, from running businesses in New York, and also a 5-year restriction on commercial real estate activities by Trump and his flagship Trump Organization. On the other hand, Trump has repeatedly dismissed the New York civil allegations, calling James a racist and labeling Engoron deranged. Well, Trump attended the court hearing in person at the Manhattan court to hear Letitia James set out the case.
So very simply put, it's a witch hunt. It's a disgrace. We have a corrupt attorney general in this state. You see how she does? This trial was railroaded and fast-tracked. This trial could have been brought years ago, but they waited till I was right in the middle of my campaign. The same with other trials and indictments. It's all run by DOJ, which is corrupt in Washington.
Well, in addition to this civil case, Trump also faces several major criminal proceedings in the months ahead. He is scheduled to appear before a federal judge in Washington on March 4th on charges of trying to overthrow the results of the 2020 presidential elections, which were won by Biden. After that, Trump will be back in New York State Court, this time on criminal hush money charges, and later in a Florida federal court where he is accused of mishandling the classified documents after leaving the office. And finally, he will also have to answer to state charges in Georgia, where prosecutors say that Trump officially tried to get the southern state's 2020 election results changed in his favor. Susan further explains what's at stake for the former president in terms of his company and assets. Take a listen.
A defeat could deal a heavy blow to the Trump empire. The former president has always pointed to his achievements in the New York real estate market as a source of pride, and a victory for prosecutors could not only mean $250 million in fines, but it could also bar the former president and his company from ever doing business in New York again. But many wonder what message that would send to other businesses who want to invest in America's business capital.